I just gotta work and you know I'm doing that. Never stop, always on the track. Locked in my path, never getting off track. Whatever I lack, add it to my bag. And I got plenty more where that came from. And my price is right, I never change, bruh. Don't get it done right. And that's every day, that's young life. That's the anthem right there. What's good, boys? Welcome to the Still Spinning podcast, where we talk about everything. I mean, billions of stars, billions of galaxies, and we only have 5 senses, and you're going to tell me that's all there is? All right, anyway, this one's going to be kind of quick tonight. I had a podcast yesterday that I explained my current strength phase, and I really learned another thing today about it, so I really wanted to share that with you because I feel like it's really good information, and I've been struggling for years trying to break this plateau of about a 43-inch vertical. I might have had some days that hit 44. I'm not really sure. It's about 42, 43, but I feel like that this is where I really need to break through and get stronger, and I've been trying to do that with different types of phases, some that don't work for me, and you can learn more about that in the last podcast and other podcasts. But I'm fortunate enough to have some experts to talk to, like Daniel Back and other pro dunkers, and what their take is on my specific case study. But Daniel actually messaged me today. I showed him my little calendar breakdown, and he was really helpful, as well as other people. But yesterday I was explaining how I'm going to try to take it easy this week because I need to recover. And that was due to me thinking, just a quick recap, because you can, if you listen to yesterday's, you'll already have this information. But a quick recap is I've been lifting for a few weeks now, and I started to feel a little fatigue from it. And also my strength went up. So that's a good sign of that's when you kind of take a little break from it. But Daniel pointed out it's not really fatigue I'm feeling. It's more just like a loss of elasticity, which is perfectly normal when you're strength training. When you strength train and get stronger, you're going to lose some of that elastic feeling, which for me was the feeling of my max jumps not being really as explosive or nearly as high as they were in the past. They kind of dropped a little bit, but my 1-step, 2-step jumps still felt good. So that's a good sign that I'm not fatiguing. For me, if those two things dip and my strength goes up, then it's a sign that I've kind of changed as an athlete. I've kind of gotten stronger, and now it's starting to impact my overall athleticism, and the strength training is actually fatiguing me. So right now, it's not really fatigue as much as just the strength training starting to take effect. So I'm going to strength train a little more and probably lift on Thursday instead of like taking it easy this week. So I know I've been saying I'm going to take it easy, kind of deload, rest. I've been going back and forth, but I'm just trying to learn, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because this whole process is not me just trying a million things. It's trying to understand exactly what I need, and that's the hardest part. And what Daniel said that was really interesting is, like, for him, one thing he does when he's kind of in the strength training phase and he's jumping and trying to figure out when he should drop off strength training is he does like a hang snatch, which is kind of like an explosive movement. But since I'm not really doing that and I don't really have a good estimate of what my hang snatch should feel like, I go by my jumping. So me explaining to him that my max jumps felt low, but my 1-step, 2-step, and dribble dunks, which is more like powerful because I'm using like the ball in my hands. I'm not using arm swing. It's a little like more powerful and less explosive. Not less explosive. You get what I'm saying? Since my max jumps were dipping, but my 1-step, 2-step approach jumps were still good, to him that was kind of the same indicator as the hex snatch. What is it called? Hang snatch, that exercise being still good, or that dipping off, but his strength still going up and his jumping still going off. Anyway, the point is it aligned with his signs. It was kind of a way for me to gauge that my elasticity was going down, but I'm not fatiguing. So I don't really need that extra rest to recover, which I don't really feel that much. I felt it only because my jumps were a little bit bad, but I did jump well off the dribble. I got 2-hand dribble dunks that have been my worst in the past, and I still was able to do that. And I still had energy. I didn't feel like I couldn't. I just didn't feel as explosive. So it makes sense. And I know it sounds like I'm flip-flopping again, but I'm really just trying to pinpoint exactly what my body needs and my body's telling me, which is the hardest part of this journey, which is what I want to share with you guys. And what also he said is that another good indicator is, like, I think max jumps versus broad jumps. So if your max jumps go down, but your broad jump is still good, which is just a standing two-footed jump as far as you can forward. So you stand in one place, jump off 2 feet, just straight forwards. If that's still good, that's like a good sign that you're still powerful in your jumps, I guess, and you're not fatigued. But if your like max jumps go down and your broad jumps go down, then and your strength goes up, then it's showing that your strength is doing really well, but your body overall is kind of fatiguing, and you need to kind of stop everything and go back to just jumping or have like a deload week. So I hope that makes sense. I really wanted to share that with you because I got that insight today, and it definitely makes sense. And it's also like, I didn't really do that much strength training, as you guys saw. And I want to get back to you guys as well, because you guys leave great comments on my YouTube videos, and I'm actually really appreciative. You guys are really have great questions. Like, you're asking, why do I only do like one set, or what's your plan going forward? And it seems like you guys are really curious about the process, which is why I'm doing like more and more podcasts. And I even left a poll of, would you guys like to see a daily podcast? I don't know if I can commit to a daily podcast, maybe for like 30 days or something, or if it's too many podcasts, or you're cool with whatever. And most of you said cool with whatever, and yes, meaning like the more the better. So I really appreciate you guys giving me your feedback, because that's really awesome for me, because I love doing this and I love sharing it, because when I was learning how to dunk, I wish I had this information, or somebody at my level right now showing me how to get to this level. So I feel like I've done that, and now I feel like by me trying to break through that next level, giving you every little detail about my journey will help you if you ever reach to this part of your journey, meaning like a very tough part for you to break through. So I really appreciate your feedback. The questions are great. And I got a lot of questions about like me doing one set. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, that's why I don't really think I need that much time off, because my strength training wasn't that intense. There's people that are doing way more intensity, meaning a lot more sets, a lot more volume. So I'm just going to continue with the strength training, and I'm excited because as long as my jumps still feel good, I just went stretching, by the way. That's why I'm kind of in gym clothes. My stretching's feeling good, keeping my body healthy. I'm going to probably dunk tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel, because I might need like an extra day of recovery, because it's only been 2 days since I lifted. But I might dunk tomorrow, keep it super light, but I just want to keep my jumping and keep testing my jumping to make sure I'm not dropping off too much. But I'm looking forward to jumping, and then getting right back to lifting, because I definitely think I can do a lot more lifting. I only did 245. I did one set. Last workout I did 2 sets, but now I think I could up it to like 2 full working sets, and maybe even increase the weight. But I could just do more lifting, and I could add hip thrusts and do more like hamstring stuff, like hip hinges, where you're kind of doing a deadlift, but it's for mobility. And I could just keep adding more and get like a good strength phase going, because I feel like I'm just starting. So I don't want to like act like I need recovery when I do. I always want to go harder. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I know it was pretty quick, but I really appreciate all your comments. Let me know if you do want to hear like a daily podcast, because I could do quick ones like this more often, because I really like this format. I really like getting the detail I have in my head and just getting it out to you as soon as possible, so you can keep up with my journey as I go, because I feel like it's a lot helpful if you stay along with it, because this is how I've always been doing it throughout these past years, but I haven't really had a good system to kind of give you all the details. My vlogs are pretty much it, and I kind of recap at each vlog. Like the beginning, I kind of say how I felt the past couple days, but this is pretty cool to kind of have like almost like a diary every day of everything I learned and my mindset going into every single day. It's just more and more detail, man. It's a lot, but I like it. And for those that are new, I think I have a lot of new subscribers. It's that this podcast is all over the place, and I actually have a new guest coming on soon. An old friend I haven't talked to in a long time, and he's actually a YouTuber, and he's a successful YouTuber. I think he's got over 100K, same thing, maybe even close to 200K. I know he's involved with other YouTubers, so it's just really cool to actually know somebody that has a huge YouTube that I knew before that I went to school with when I was really little. So it's just like, it would be so cool to just find out about his path and where he's going with it. And that's just kind of where this podcast is going. It's all about everything. And I have so many guests and so many ideas, but of course, tons of dunk related information I want to get out there, and I just love doing it. And I thank you again. And tomorrow, probably going to dunk a little bit, keep it light. And then Thursday, probably going to lift, get back to that strength, boy. I really want to get stronger. I'm feeling really good. I mentioned on my story, if you follow my Instagram, I'm like, my body fat, my stupid scale was like way off. It's super old. It uses like your feet to tell you your body fat. It's really lame, but I use it more as like a gauge if I'm going up or down. I don't even use body fat often on that thing, but I just use weight. My weight's kind of up right now. It's at 178, but I think that's just because when I weight lift, it stimulates my body to like kind of hold more water because I lose that weight really quickly. Anyway, I want to get my body fat lower only because I think I can. I said 6% on my story, but I think that's like bodybuilder level. Some people were mentioning that to me, and that makes sense. It's like that's like almost like unhealthy, meaning like you look really good, but you're not like able to like do something like dunking, you know? So I want like the lowest level for that's healthy for me, and I think I might be at that already. I eat really clean, but I'm always looking to get my body to the peak, you know? And I also want to be like shredded. I would love to have like shredded muscles with no flex zone. You feel me? That's it. I got to get some sleep. Have a good night. I'll talk to you in the morning, and I'll be vlogging tomorrow probably too. And shout out to everyone listening to the podcast and all the audio platforms, baby. It's not just YouTube. We're all on them, baby. Anything else? Joe Rogan had this guy on about he was convicted of murder, wrongfully convicted of murder and something, and in jail for 22 years and got exonerated as innocent from DNA. And I watched that podcast, and it was the most powerful thing I've seen in a long time. And his whole mission in life is to be a nice guy, be kind to people, and empower other people to be the best person they can be. After all those troubles he's had in his life, he was tortured in prison. So I want to leave you with that. Be a loving person, and be the nicest person you could possibly be, or be the best you can be, and live your life to the fullest. That's actually what this podcast is like I want it to be about. So like, that's kind of cool. Okay. See ya. Toodaloo.